Let's talk about mommy makeovers today. Mommy makeover is a series of procedures that are geared towards addressing some of the common changes that happen to patients' bodies after childbirth. Usually the two big areas that patients come in wanting to work on are the breast and the abdomen. So usually a mommy makeover has some breast procedure and some abdominal procedure / back procedure. When it comes to the breast, and we think about people who have had children and been pregnant and things of those natures, when it comes to the breast, usually there is some what's called involution or deflation of the upper pole, the top part of the breast. It's usually kind of flat. And also sometimes there's what's called ptosis, where the breast is kind of sitting lower on the chest wall and the nipples are pointing towards the floor usually. And so when patients come in for a mommy makeover and we're addressing the breast, correcting those things are usually kind of top priority. So patients commonly come in and they want a breast lift. They usually come in, they're like, "Doc, my breasts are down here. They used to be high and tight. I breastfed 3 kids and now I want them way up here, and I want to lift and I want them super high and tight." The thing about the mommy makeover and the thing about the involution of the breast that happens in that natural kind of progression after childbirth is that there is loss of volume. And so while the nipple is pointing down or the breast is kind of sagging and you want a lift to push things back up, you have to not only address the location of the breast and the nipple, you also have to address the volume. And usually, a lot of times, a lift by itself does not address the volume loss after, having kids and breastfeeding and things of that nature. And so we usually pair the lift, which is really about reshaping the breast and moving the nipple up, with an augmentation, which is about, placing an implant to add the volume. So that nice upper pole fullness that everybody comes in wanting, usually in a mommy makeover, is usually filled out by the implant, and then getting the breast tissue up and getting the nipple up is done by the mastopexy. Regarding the abdomen, there are some common things that happen after someone has a child. And one of the biggest things that happens is diastasis recti. And that is where the abdominal 6-pack muscles have kind of separated. It's not a hernia. There's not a defect in the abdominal wall, but the muscles have just kind of separated. Okay. And many times the patients come in, they're like, "I'm killing myself in the gym. I'm doing 1,000 crunches. I work out every day. I'm super fit. And I still just have this little pooch, this little lower abdominal pooch. It won't go away. I've worked out. I've taken Manjaro. I've done everything I can. I've hired a personal trainer. I've done everything. And I still have this pooch." And that's usually because of diastasis recti, where that abdominal wall is lax. Those 6-pack muscles are kind of moved out and they're not going to go all the way back in. And usually to address that requires a tummy tuck, which is a procedure where the loose skin and the excess fat, usually below the belly button, is removed. And that's part of the problem, the loose skin. Okay. And then the other part of the problem, which is the diastasis recti, is usually addressed with a plication, which is where we take a suture and we make those muscles super tight. And we take it from the xiphoid, which is that little point kind of at the end of your chest or your sternum, and take it all the way down to the pubic bone. And that tightens in those 6-pack muscles, which then brings in that waist, okay? And so combining the skin removal, the fat removal, as well as the abdominal wall plication really allows us to powerfully contour the patient's abdomen and kind of return mommy back to her previous form, so to speak. We talked about the breast, we talked about the tummy tuck. Some other things that we commonly add on is liposuction. So liposuction is a powerful procedure where we take a cannula attached to a powerful suction machine and we remove the fat. And the reason why we combine it in our mommy makeover cases with our tummy tucks and breast procedures is because it allows us to powerfully shape and contour the body. Many times, if we just did a tummy tuck, for instance, and remove the lower abdominal skin and fat, to bring in that waist, to really curve the waist and curve the back and accentuate the different curves that the patients want, we need to remove some of that excess fat. And so liposuction is a very powerful way of doing so. Likewise, when we do breast procedures and we do an augmentation and a lift, for instance, Commonly, patients have little fat pockets right here in the preaxillary fold that they hate. I like to call them the chicken nugget, and they hate that. And so they're like, "Doc, can you make that go away?" And we commonly address that with liposuction. Likewise, on the flanks, on the sides of the breast, in that kind of bra roll area, patients also commonly dislike fat in that area. And they say, "I put on my bra and this kind of spills out and I really hate it and I can't wear two-piece because of it." And so liposuction allows us to really kind of snatch in those areas without making a long scar to address it. Another technology that we have here is something called body tight. We also have quantum, which are radiofrequency technologies that allow us to address lax skin. A lot of times in mommy makeovers, or people who have lost a lot of weight, as another group that this also applies to, they have relatively loose skin. And many times patients have stretch marks. And those stretch marks basically means that the dermis, or the skin, has been injured, okay? Usually due to rapid expansion. So for instance, if you were pregnant and your abdomen expanded rapidly, there can many times be stretch marks. And even when kind of going back to normal, the skin never gets all the way tightened back down. And you can see that as evidenced by the stretch marks. That's what the stretch marks basically mean. The skin has been damaged and it doesn't have its elasticity and strength like it used to. And so sometimes with our liposuction, we can remove fat, but we also need to address the tightness of the skin. And so that's where the radiofrequency technologies come in. And so usually after we do liposuction, we can then take our radiofrequency technologies such as the quantum, and we can then go in and heat up the skin from the underside. And then that allows it to contract and to kind of tighten back down to its more original form. So let's talk about the Brazilian butt lift, or the BBL. So it is a procedure where we take fat, usually during the course of a mommy makeover. We're removing fat from the abdomen, we're removing it from the flank. We then take that fat, process it, put some antibiotics in it, and then we transfer it to the buttock. When we do this procedure, there are a couple of very important things to consider. The first is, how big do you want to be, all right? And and what areas of your buttock and your hips bother you. Commonly, patients come in and they're complaining about the hip dips, which are kind of sunken in. And so sometimes we can take a little fat and through 2 little small incisions right in the gluteal crease, add a little fat to the hip dips to kind of give, that more kind of Coke bottle appearance. And then we can also add some volume to the buttock to give it more projection. Now, the BBL, the Brazilian butt lift, has kind of transformed over the years. I think, some years, maybe 5-10 years ago, the BBL was really taking off and people were going for a more dramatic look. And I think over the past probably 3 to 4 years, people have kind of moved away from the more dramatic look and usually are going for a little bit more of a fit look or a smaller BBL just to kind of fill out their hip dips and fill out their yoga pants and things of that nature. Some important things about the BBL is that, number one, you never want to put more fat than we really feel like the buttock can take, okay? You don't want to overfill it, because in a BBL, you're taking fat from somewhere, you're transferring it to the buttock and to the hips, and you're asking the tissue in the buttocks and the hips to now provide blood supply to fat that was taken from elsewhere. If you outstrip the body's ability to add blood flow and keep that fat alive, then sometimes that fat doesn't live. The other really big thing to consider with the BBL is the technique, okay? And to keep the procedure safe, it should always be done under ultrasound guidance to allow us to place the fat in the correct layer and not in the muscle. This is Dr. Bond here at North Texas Plastic Surgery. Thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe and follow along.